Guys, Tater here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to script a gun to work based on if the bullet hits the player. So that would be for like an automatic. But first, what you need to do is go to Game, Options, and Item Options. Because every time you spawn in a world, all the guns will have a red X on them like this. If you push A on them, it'll take the red X off, and that will allow you to use them in the shops here. So for this one, I'm just going to use the golden SMG as our weapon. And right now it does nothing. So we've got to script that in. So we're going to go to New Script, and for every gun, what you want is if intersect, because that pretty much says, okay, if something is in front of me, or around me, or wherever. And because this is a gun, we want to shoot it in a straight line, so we want ray line box. And we're going to use ray because a ray is a straight line. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of that box, because we don't want to draw a box. We want a straight line from us. And then on the XYZ and XYZ, it's pretty much your min and your max. So your minimum would be 000, but you want a VREL, because that's based on your view. So if you put VREL and then a colon, 000, that pretty much starts right where you're at. And then for this one, we want VREL because we still want it to be a VREL. Otherwise, it'll just draw a line to whatever coordinate we put in. Now, what we want to do is, if we wanted to shoot straight up, we would put a value for Y, but we don't, so it's 0. Z is sideways, so we don't want that either. Now, for the X is what we put the range. So I'm going to put the range on this gun as 30. And then for players and mobs, if you want them to only shoot enemies, you would get rid of the players. Or if you only want them to shoot players, you get rid of the mobs. Or you can keep them both. So that checks if something gets hit. So if that happens, then what we want to do is we want to go to Context, Player, Target. Which pretty much says, okay, where this is down, it does that effect to whatever we hit with the intersect. So that's where we add our health. And what we want is a quantity, or if you were going to do a damage over time, you would add that quantity milliseconds. But we just want the quantity because we're doing definite damage and we're not doing like fire or anything. So I'm going to make each bullet on this gun do 10. But unless you put the negative, it'll heal them. So now it does 10 damage. But because this gun shoots, I think, 4 bullets in that sound clip, we want to do it again. So what we want to do is add a small wait of just a tiny delay of like 1/4 of a second or something. And then what we want to do is we want to do another health. Wait, no we don't. What we want to do is an end if. And then what we want to do is copy this whole thing again and paste it right underneath. Because this is for one bullet right here, from the if to the end if. And this little wait gives you just enough delay to miss. So it will check if a player is in front of you, then it will do the context and it will do 10 damage. And then it will wait 1/4 of a second and end. And then it will check for the second bullet. And then if you paste it again, it'll check for the third bullet. And then one more time for the 4th bullet. And now all you have to do is make a particle to put right above the context if you want it to only activate when it hits something. Or you can just put a particle right up here in the top and it will activate no matter if you're hitting something or not. You've just got to make sure to put the duration and the emit frequency above the if right here to make sure that it will shoot 4 particles. I'm not going to go into the particles because it takes quite a while to line it up to where your gun will actually shoot it. But then you also need another script, and this one's 1 line of code. This one's pretty easy too. You need to go to Script and then Set Event Script and go to Item Swing at the bottom here. And pretty much where it says name, that's the script you're going to run. So we'll call that script shoot, which is the other script that we just made. And for the item, since I chose the golden SMG, I'm going to choose this one as golden SMG. and then you leave everything else the same. Now you run the script that you just made, which was 373 for me, and I didn't name this one shoot, so it doesn't know what to hit. So I'm going to go ahead and name this one shoot. And I'm going to run the other one because I renamed that. Now if I put a monster in here, shoot it, it takes 10 damage per bullet. But because I put a very tiny weight delay, it's not going to miss frequently.